Hi everybody, Senator John Thune here. Like all of you, we've been dealing with the ongoing impact of the pandemic, and I know Business Day at the legislature this year looks different than it has in past years. But I want to thank the South Dakota Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the great job that they do day in and day out in advocating for, working on behalf of economic policies that are good for jobs in South Dakota, that help our economy continue to prosper and grow and create a better standard of living and a better quality of life for people in our state. And to all of you out there today, no matter what industry or sector you're in, whether it's financial services or healthcare or manufacturing or small business or state and local government, I'm just grateful that in South Dakota we all work so well together as partners to make South Dakota a great place to live and to work and to raise families. It doesn't happen by chance, it doesn't happen by circumstance, it happens because there are a lot of people who care deeply and are committed to and work hard every day to make South Dakota such a great place to live. We're going to get to the other side of this, things will return to normal, but in the meantime, as we've had to grind through this pandemic, I just want to express my appreciation to all of you who've played such a big role in helping South Dakota weather this in a good way, all things considered, and we're looking with anticipation and enthusiasm to an even bigger and brighter and better future. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi, Mike Rounds here. Thank you for the opportunity to join your Business Day at the legislature. Like so many other things in our lives right now, this year's event looks a little different than previous years as you meet virtually instead of in person. But even if it looks different, the work you do to maintain South Dakota's reputation as a great place to do business is as important as ever. And I know that it takes work. So thank you all for what you do to promote business-friendly policies that will help grow our state's economy and secure a brighter future for our kids and our grandkids. At the federal level, I can assure you that I'm working to enact the same pro-growth policies that you are. First and foremost, with the new administration taking office, it's going to be very important that in these next 4 years we can continue to support pro-growth policies and protect businesses from inappropriate policies that might be introduced by the administration. We must make sure we push back on any efforts to increase the regulatory burden for our businesses. In his first days in office, President Biden rescinded the Trump administration's rule of one in, two out, which meant that for every new regulation enacted, at least 2 egregious regulations were eliminated that were no longer necessary. We know that less paperwork for our business community means more time and resources that are available for serving customers and growing our size in business. We know that there is a push in the Biden administration to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which we all know is a job killer that must be stopped. We must also be vigilant about reining in our national debt. Over the past year, since the COVID-19 pandemic began, we've recognized that we've had to spend significant resources to get through what has been an unprecedented crisis, our war for our nation. That includes pumping money into programs such as the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, so that our businesses can survive during these very uncertain times. But we must also be cognizant that if we don't get our fiscal house in order, our nation is on track to have a $30 trillion national debt by the end of this year. That's 30 trillion with a T. For this reason, I've been pushing for another round of limited COVID-19 relief that is targeted and specific to addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. We can't use COVID-19 relief as an excuse to spend unnecessary dollars on unrelated items. We think provisions like the PPP have merit and are worth funding in another round of COVID-19 relief legislation. While the PPP had a slow start, we know that it works and has been crucial to the survival of countless South Dakota businesses. One last thing I'll mention is the importance of vaccine development as it relates to business growth and development. When social distancing and staying home became the norm, the hit our businesses took was unprecedented, as you well know. And when it comes to fully recovering economically, vaccinations will play a significant role. Fortunately, early on in the COVID-19 pandemic, a plan was devised to develop and distribute vaccines swiftly and safely. Known as Operation Warp Speed, the ability to develop, manufacture, and begin distributing vaccines against COVID-19 in under a year is truly remarkable. And it's a testament to the innovative spirit of American enterprise, a model of how private companies, assisted by public resources, could successfully work together to tackle a world crisis head-on and in record time. And because of this, we have already vaccinated over 28 million Americans, with South Dakota leading the way among states. We need to keep the momentum on vaccinations so that we can get back to normal and unleash the full potential of our economy once again. With that in mind, I'll remind you that our office is always open for your comments and concerns on how we can do a better job to promote pro-business environmental ideas at the federal level. Please, don't hesitate to reach out to any of our office locations. We're always happy to listen to your views. The best ideas often come from those with boots on the ground, the business owners and organizations subject to the policies and regulations passed by Congress. Thanks again for the opportunity to visit with you, and enjoy the rest of your virtual conference.
Hey there, South Dakota Chamber. Welcome to your virtual business day. I'm out here in Washington, D.C. It's not quite as much fun as Pierre, I'll admit. Of course, it's been a tumultuous couple of years during my time in Congress, and I know the last year has been tumultuous for all of you. Clearly, the South Dakota economy has done better under COVID-19 than most states' economies, but I know there are a lot of businesses that have been uniquely impacted, and I've tried to be a leader in making sure that things like the Paycheck Protection Program, which helped 21,000 South Dakota businesses, was available, and that we added as much flexibility to that program as we could. I'm a guy who works hard on getting things done. So many folks in Congress want to complain about problems. I'm more interested in enacting solutions, and I think we've had a pretty good track record with that. Last Congress, I passed 5 bills into law. That is not typical, certainly not for a freshman in the minority. And here in my sophomore term, I want to continue with that track record of actually getting things done. I've worked hard to get on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. That is going to be critically important because this year we're doing a new 5-year highway bill. And particularly for a rural state like South Dakota, and particularly for our communities and areas that are growing, that highway bill is going to be tremendously important. I was honored that my colleagues trusted me to have a seat at the table as we put together the highway bill. And then finally, I'm going to continue to serve on the Agriculture Committee. That's also tremendously important to the South Dakota economy, and I'm going to do everything I can to serve you and to serve us. If there's something my office can do to help, you just got to give a shout.